Next question for the group. For candidates who do not support universal masking, what is your justification for supporting policies that may exclude vulnerable children from school? I'll read that again. For candidates who do not support universal masking, what is your justification for supporting policies that may exclude vulnerable children from school? Pastor Adams, I'm going to throw that your way. Do we have, first of all, do we have any candidates that do not support universal masking? Okay, so let's, Pastor Adams, we'll let you take it, and we'll keep the mic on that end of the...
Okay. I guess I'm a little confused on the question as far as, are we saying that what do we do to the kids who don't mask? You can...
And then you can determine based on that.
Thanks, Mac. Okay, it's still kind of rough in my mind, supporting policies that may exclude vulnerable children from school. I'm going to go back to my first thing on the vaccine, because I really think, again, that unless we are facing a very extremely serious health emergency, not that the emergency we're facing now is not serious, but unless it's something that's dire, I would default right back again to the parents and their health professionals. I think that face-to-face interaction with our children and with teachers is extremely, extremely important. And unless it was absolutely 100% necessary, I would not be for that.
I think the vulnerable children part triggers the Americans with Disabilities Act or the IDEA, which is the educational component that allows kids to have access to schools if they have disabilities. It really is a case-by-case analysis. So I think you can say, do I think a mask should be on at all times in all situations? No, right? People can make their own choices. If there's a specific situation where a child with a disability is unable to come to school because of a vulnerability, then I think that, and not I think, it's required that the school consider that, and much like the IDEA requires for all other types of disabilities, figure out the right plan that would allow them to have equal access to the school. So case-by-case basis, but absolutely that should be factored in.
Thank you. Obviously, we should never leave a child behind. However, masking every child in the room on behalf of one is not a solution. There are multiple studies out now that masking children has caused severe problems with their health, both from a mental standpoint and physical. That's really becoming common knowledge, though it's not commonly talked about in the media. And there are virtual options. I'm sure that we could get creative if a child needed to have access to the classroom. If an individual child is that immune compromised that being in a room of masked or unmasked people would be threatening to them, then they probably are not well enough to come to school regardless.
Anyone else like to respond to that? Sherry Catry and Ryan?
Okay, so I didn't raise my hand when I said that I was against mandating masks. I just want to make it clear that I'm not saying that the possibility could not arise. I don't think that it's something that needs to be addressed immediately, but I don't want to say never, because you don't know what is going to happen in the future.
So my stance on this echoes my stance on the vaccinations. I 100% believe that that's a parent's choice whether or not their child should have to wear a mask. I'm 100% for parents who want their kid to wear a mask. I'm against universal masking. And as Stacy and Beth both said, you know, at the same time, we need to make sure that no child is left in a vulnerable situation or is not given access to what they lawfully should have access to.
School-age children. You have 1 minute to respond.
I am and always will be pro-choice regarding body autonomy when it comes to medical decision-making.
See?
I think, and parents do have a choice about vaccinating their children.
Send that over to Andra Kurtz. Andra, we'll let you take that.
I agree. I feel like the parents are the ones who get to decide that. I don't think that that's a decision the board should be making.
Kimberly?
As a parent, I think that is a choice that's left up to the parents, and that's not something that is a school board decision, I don't believe.
Sherry Catry?
Okay. I'm in agreement with the others that it is a choice that a parent makes for their own child. I don't believe that this is even a decision a school board would make, even if the Ohio Department of Health would put it on the list of vaccinations. Parents still have choice.
I'll keep these answers boring, and I'm going to echo the same sentiment. You know, I think it's 100% the parent's choice when it comes to medical decisions for their children. And, you know, this also falls into that discrimination topic as well, because you can't force this topic on parents.
Pastor Adams?
I would agree to 100% as well. I think parents have the best interests of their children at heart, and along with their medical professionals that they consult with, they are the ones that make those decisions. That's America, that's freedom, and I think that needs to be preserved.
And Stacy?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the statement about this not being a Board of Education issue. In the state of Ohio, it is parents' choice, and certainly I respect the laws of the state of Ohio.